You know what? I'm gonna complain about it even more. I absolutely just hate Blizzard. I think they just shoot themselves in the feet, and they have like the most unlike appealing fans because they're always just mad over the smallest things. Like, Warcraft movie didn't have this in it. It must be shit. And I'm like, okay, like, cool, dude. Did you see it? No. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm not any better. I do the exact same thing, having just said about Alex, or Half-Life Alex, but at the same time, at least I know that, like, the game isn't probably that bad. I even used to think Doom 4 was a terrible game, but then I was like, I'll give it a chance, and I played it, and it was great, it was fun, I had a great time playing it, so my idea on it definitely changed. I'm gonna let that tank get fucked up. I really do not want to deal with it. The less I have to deal with it, the better. I like scenes like this because it makes surface tension feel more like it feels like there's an actual alien invasion happening, and it feels like the tide's being turned against everyone. I like that, but I don't know, man. Just Blizzard shot themselves so hard in the feet that I don't even know how to, like, respond to their mistakes anymore. I mean, I think their other problem is they don't have any IPs. They're all just, like, StarCraft, Diablo, World of Warcraft. You take out World of Warcraft out of the equation, and they'd probably go bankrupt within about, I don't know, maybe a month, because they have no long-lasting IPs. They make their money through subscription, which is, I mean, I play old school RuneScape, yes, but that's not really the same, because that Jagex is basically RuneScape, I guess, but if you took away the subscription, their company would die. If you did the same thing with Diablo, or sorry, not Diablo, with Blizzard, it would be the same thing. Blizzard would just crumble up and go and then never exist again, because all their money is subscription based. They don't make enough, like, games anymore. I guess you could say Hearthstone, but I mean, Hearthstone isn't even all that huge anymore. I mean, it still is really big, and I just never could get into, like, ETCGs because I don't know. I played Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time, but I just feel like Blizzard could not support itself if it wasn't for World of Warcraft. And they genuinely, like, make one game. Like, they make World of Warcraft, that's it. They do not make any other game. Like, if they tried, like, I feel like they wouldn't know what they were doing. And that's what happened with Diablo Immortal. And I think, personally, Blizzard just completely cocked up so bad. Oh, this is the Gonar, or the, where are you? Oh, I guess it's the foreshadowing. I never actually noticed that. Yeah, I can't stand Blizzard. Like, they just don't know what the hell they do anymore, and their fans are just so damn toxic. I know fans of any large conglomerate, it's like Star Wars fans. I just can't stand them anymore. They just jizz themselves over. I'm repeating exactly what I just posted a few days ago, but it's like, Star Wars trailer, oh my god, it's Obi-Wan, and it's just this really weird, like, screaming man-child, turbo virgin, whatever you want to call it, that just makes me super uncomfortable. Maybe that's just me not being a huge people person, but it doesn't make sense. Like, why? It's like, okay, here's a good example. Fan theory videos on things that get quickly debunked when the next film comes out. Like Snoke. People went into the fucking up in arms over Snoke is actually this guy, duh. And then the movie came out and Snoke was not even mentioned. And they're like, oh yeah, he was actually a thing by Palpatine. And it's just, why? Like, and I knew it. I knew exactly what was going to happen. because Disney was so damn safe with the Star Wars films. I'm like, they're not going to come up with a new villain that's not the Emperor. And they did. They literally went with the Emperor at the end. I was like, you guys can't make villains because you're Disney, and you can't show someone get like their fucking head ripped off or something, and you're a bunch of pussies, and your company sucks. So, I mean, that's not even just me being a cynical asshole. It's just Disney is dead. I'm sorry. Disney will eventually go thin because their fan base is like man children and actual children. Once they grow up, and it's maybe they'll be a fan, but they won't be a fan forever because you have to grow up eventually. It's kind of the point of one of their older films. It's really funny because, well, it's not funny. It's I want to grow up, I don't want to grow up, whatever. And then the fact that the average Disney male fan, 30-year-old dude that like creams his jeans over Star Wars 4, like it seems unhealthy and creepy to me. But then again, that's why I don't really engage in large fandoms, because I feel like they're creepy and weird. Like, I guess I'm a huge Doom fan, yes. I guess I mean, I make maps and everything, but I wouldn't say that's the same extent of just, like, saying instantly it's good because it's a franchise I know and love, it's instantly good. Like, I was skeptical of Doom Eternal. I was like, okay, is this going to be good? I didn't just instantly go, shut up and take my money, it's perfect, because that is the worst consumer, like, thing you can do. Because once the game turns out to be bad, you've wasted a bunch of money, and it's probably too late. And you'll feel, excuse me? You'll feel really bad, because then you'll have bought into the hype. And I personally never buy into hype at all. Like, a good example, I guess, for me, because I'm just such an elegant snob, I guess, I love heavy metal, right? I listen to metal pretty much all the time. You know, whenever there's like a new... This is a new section. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, I think I got one. I really hope. Did I do it? But did I really? No, I didn't. And now I'm gonna get killed because of scripting. This is actually a really cool part. I actually like this. Like, I love music, right? I don't think instantly... Like, I remember it was the... Oh, what was it? I'm trying to remember the name of the CD. It was... Oh, Jesus. I'm struggling to remember the name of the CD. It's a little late, but it's the one that had a different world on it. And it was advertised to hell that it was, oh, Corey Taylor's on it. And then I heard the song, and it's just like, okay, Corey Taylor's in it, cool. And then, like, I didn't listen to the actual, like, the promo hype, you know? Because it didn't really matter that Corey Taylor was in it, and the song was just good, I guess? But I don't think it really added or subtracted anything with him in it or not. And that song was hyped to hell and back, and so was, oh Jesus, Unsainted by Slipknot was, I think, teased before the album dropped, and I was like, oh, that's really good. And I listened to it after, like, once the full CD came out. I never really buy into hype, because it's usually to generate, like, excitement. That's the whole point. But I just don't buy into it. This is also new. I quite like this. So these guys actually get killed by this, whereas in the original they don't. Which is kind of funny. Like, because how the hell did they survive the original one, you know? I like that. It's a little detail. But yeah, I just don't buy into hype, because inevitably you'll look back at it and go, it was okay. Like, I remember seeing the Avengers. I've seen the first 3 films, and I thought they were just, like, the most stock standard action movie I've ever seen. I'm not saying they're bad. They're just so standard. I didn't feel anything from them. I didn't have any emotional attachment to any of the characters. I just went because a friend wanted me to go, and I like hanging out with my friends, you know. But I just remember I watched all the way up to Civil War, and I was like, this is the shittiest like hour and a half I've ever watched a movie. What the hell was the point of this? Superman, or sorry, I don't even remember the fucking proper name. Fucking Captain America and fucking geriatric Iron Man get in an argument over Magic the Gathering, and they punch each other and go, I'm sorry, the end. And then when like Ant-Man showed up, first of all, I had no idea who the hell Ant-Man was, and I went, okay. And then everyone in the theater's like, yeah, ooh. I'm like, I don't know who Paul Rudd is, first of all. I don't associate like an actor to be the person they are portraying in a film, so I don't. First of all, someone's like, it's Paul Rudd. I'm like, I don't know who that is. I seriously don't know. And then like they're like, oh, Ant-Man's cool, and I'm like, who the hell is Ant-Man? And then everyone's like, oh, he's this guy. I'm like, what's he doing here? Like, he's running up and down stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. Paul Rudd came out on screen and said some things, and he was gone. And then they showed shitty millennial Peter Parker, and it was like a cold introduction to new Spider-Man. And I was like, cool, that was a thing.
Don't that beat all?
Well, don't that beat
Dr.
all?
Freeman, aren't you? Well, the good news is you just ran into the only guy for about half a mile who has lambda codes.
Mm-hmm. Only guy.
Don't mind. I say we do this nice and quiet.
Yeah, we'll do that. I think I should be able to do this again. But you see, I watched it. I was like, it's a movie. It happened. It's not real. I have no emotional investment to this. It's just, it wasn't that good. I just didn't get the point. I think the other example of movies like that too was there's so many movies like that, and I don't get it. Like, I don't care about comic books. They're not real. Like, I just can't get into media like that. I've never been into that sort of thing. It just doesn't work. For me, it doesn't work. If it works for you, more power to you, but I'm just too much of a realist, and that's what sucks. That's like when people go, oh, this movie about like Avatar. I remember Avatar coming out and people going like, oh, look, it's blue space CGI people, and I'm like, cool, it's not real. Like, that was my that's my first reaction. It sucks because, yeah, a lot of it's security down to the a lot of it is because of my depression and stuff, but at the same time, depressed or not, I'm still a level human being that understands the difference between art and reality. And that's like, I don't worship Gabe Newell because he worked on Half-Life. And I don't worship, John Carmack or John Romero simply because they made Doom. They must be the greatest person ever. Like, I don't inject, like, a feeling towards someone based on what they do. Just like, I love Nirvana, but Kurt Cobain was kind of a, like, douche and kind of a crappy, like, you know, person to people around him and his family. I mean, I don't think there's any competition of that, and yet people deify him. I don't see the point. It's one of those things that doesn't make sense to me, and it's like, just because you're a fan does not mean you instantly know that person, like, on a personal level. Mr. Barney Man, are you going to... I'm just gonna give me that look? Just gonna do that? What does that look? Don't raise your eyebrows at me. I hope I'm making some sense and not just sound like a cynical psychopath here. But, or I'm just the worst person ever to go to a movie with. But to me, I just don't get it. Like, I don't buy into the hype of, like, Star Wars movies are essentially like that now. I'm like, oh, look, a new Star Wars movie, cool. Like, it's more of the same. It's like The Mandalorian. It's like, oh, you like The Mandalorian because there's a baby small green thing that looks cute. Like, like, that to me just doesn't... That's just, like, selling products. And I guess that's what I have an issue with. Like, you only like Mandalorian because Boba Fett, and that's it. Like, that's the thing, is everyone associates it with Boba Fett. If it wasn't about a Mandalorian character, nobody would give a shit. Like, let's face it, it wouldn't even have a quarter of the cultural appeal. If it didn't have a baby small creature of a character that we've seen before in other films,
Okay.
it really wouldn't be as successful. It would just be a standard movie. You take Star Wars out of it, it wouldn't be as popular. You could replace those characters with anything else and it would still be successful, but it wouldn't be as popular. Here, have a grenade, even though you're going to get killed by aliens anyways. I thought it honestly was going to game over me. Oh, that would have been great. But maybe it's because I just don't care for modern media, or I don't use social media or anything, and I do feel like an outcast in that regard. But I also don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, because I don't have any reason to be into it. Like, if that makes any sense, I hope that does. Like, to me, it's just, oh, look, it's a movie that's gonna do well because it's a upgrade available for malware anti-bytes, or whatever. I don't know if anyone can see that on my screen, but it's gonna bug the crap out of me. I can't honestly tell. It's gonna drive me crazy. Well, hopefully... I don't know. I can't tell. I really hope it doesn't stay on the screen while I do this part. But, yeah, I just don't get, like binge culture. I just don't get it. I'm like, I could play a video game for 6 hours and do nothing. Or I could watch all of Scrubs and not do anything. It just seems really counterproductive and lame, I guess. Like, do whatever you want to do with your free time. By all no means am I the person to tell you what to do. It's just... It just seems unhealthy and weird, I guess. Like, I don't know. I just don't, like, get into, like, anything, really, unfortunately. Is that thing gonna shoot, or what? Okay, good. I want to see if I can get away from the Gargantua. Like, I've actually not tried this. Oh shit. Can it get over here? Oh shit, he can. Yeah, you can't get over that though. You're too, fucking chunky. Can't get over here. See those pro strats in action right there? That's how you do it. I honestly thought he was gonna rip that in half. I had like a little panic attack with that. Oh, that was great. That was just fantastic, man. That's how you do it.